Okay, well, why don't we start? It's 12. We like to start at 12 and end right at 1. I'm Dale Caldwell. I have the honor of being a professor and executive director of the Rothman Institute of Innovation and Entrepreneurship at Fairleigh Dickinson University. This is our Family Business Friday. We have two special guests that are part of the Rothman family: Jackie Raia, CEO of Alexena Consulting, and Andrew Frazier, the CEO of Small Business Like a Pro. So welcome. As always, I like to start out by, many of you know who we are, but we really want to reintroduce ourselves to some other folks. And our mission is really to support, promote, and research entrepreneurship with a special focus on family and veteran businesses. And so our purview is really expanding, as you'll hear some today. But we're true to our core mission, and it's been a wonderful few years. The programs that we've had is something called Family Business Alliance that we've had for more than 30 years, where we work with family businesses. We do everything from consulting to coaching to having special programs, and really have gotten to know our family businesses and provided some real support services through the years. We're always looking for new members. Our student programs, we have something called FDU Pitch, which goes on to compete against other universities. Our Veterans Launching Ventures program has been around over 10 years. It's become a national program with participants from over 25 different states. We do a lot of articles, research, policy, and thought leadership around this. Strategic planning with our companies. We're doing more and more for urban businesses through entrepreneur zones, leadership, sales, and diversity training, which you're going to hear more about today, and these executive certification programs. So we wouldn't be able to do what we do without the support of our many sponsors. And so TD Bank Charitable Foundation is an extraordinary sponsor. Provident Bank is a wonderful sponsor. SunTrust, CIA&J. Tony Russo, the president, is often with us to give us a legislative update. He couldn't be with us today, but the partnership, and we're starting to partner with more and more chambers. So look for us to participate in the chambers that you're involved in. So entrepreneurship, and this is really the theme of what we're doing, is more important than ever. It's the key to bridging this political divide. This country is so divided. We're trying to bring people together. But the public policy must support entrepreneurship because it's the fuel for local communities. And so we've written, and over time, you'll hear more about these entrepreneur zones with the idea that we created to really support the growth of entrepreneurs in urban areas that are struggling, on main streets where many of the businesses are really struggling to survive. And so we're really trying to really support the growth of these, not only in New Jersey, but actually across the country. We started Family Business Week. We're encouraging people to make every week Family Business Week. The official week is the fourth week in October every year around our Family Business Awards. But to find out more about this, familybusinessweek.com, and we allow you to, provide an opportunity to buy some gift cards in our Shop Family NJ website. Family Business World, I have the honor of hosting a show called Family Business World, where we have all sorts of incredible family business guests. Well over 30 shows are on our YouTube site. It comes on rvntv.tv every Thursday at 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. And I believe starting in March, RVN TV is on Roku. So if you have Roku, you find the RVN TV channel, and our show will be on that. Obviously, our Family Business Fridays that we've been doing almost since the pandemic started will continue. The feedback has been wonderful, and those who can't make it love watching our videos. Our Veterans Launching Ventures program that I mentioned before is really become an international program. We've had folks from Germany and folks from Puerto Rico, and as I said, 25 different states. What we do is we really help veterans and immediate family members of veterans develop a business plan and really grow their business. And it's nice to see that we're getting some national recognition. And here's our YouTube page, Rothman Institute of Entrepreneurship. So if you will look at our YouTube channel, we'll have this video and our other videos up there, so that you can kind of review. If you hear some, which I guarantee you'll hear some wonderful tidbits from Andrew and Jackie and Sue, You may want to just visit that on the website. And our family business of the year that I alluded to, we had our 28th this year. Our 29th will be our last year. Our 29th will be in October of this year. Laura Mashtaller from Black Swan Espresso in Newark was our new family business of the year winners. Dennis McCullough Jr. from McCullough Contracting was our under 10 million. And our over 10 million was Mike Seitel from Norwalk Design. And so it's a wonderful program. We are always throughout the year looking for nominees for the best family businesses, especially as we're dealing with the pandemic. There's so many businesses that have gone above and beyond the call of duty. And also entrepreneurship, thought leadership. There's a number of articles that we've written about opportunity, entrepreneur zones and family businesses, and everything from a kind of an emotional self-reflection tool, providing some ideas about policy. And our focus is not only just complaining about what is, but really coming up with new ideas about what we do, what we should do next. So without further ado, I want to introduce Jackie Raia, the CEO of Alexena Consulting, Jackie, and Andrew Frazier, the CEO of Small Business Like a Pro. And so to kick us off, Andrew, would you care to show a 1-minute video of your business? And then we'll roll over to Jackie.
Great. Sounds good, Dale. Thanks for having me, and glad to share a little something about the Small Business Pro University that I've been working on over the last couple of years. So let me share that screen. Okay. Do you own your business, or does it own you? Is your business growing, and are you making enough money? As a business owner, there are so many things you need to know to become more successful. Hello, my name is Andrew Frazier, the Business Growth Pro and CFO. I created the Small Business Pro University for you. Small Business Pro University has self-paced, dynamic, multimedia learning experiences created by more than 20 instructors who are business owners just like you. Small Business Pro University will empower you to become a masterpreneur by learning the secrets to creating a successful enterprise, to go from working in your business to working on your business. Take advantage of our strategic coaching program, or just simply choose the courses that you need at www.sbprou.com. We will empower you to thrive and not just survive, and make more money in any business environment. Do you own your business, or does it own you? Is your business growing? Okay. All right.
Oh, Dale, you're on mute. Dale, you're on mute.
Why don't you say a little bit about your background, Jackie?
Okay, thank you. We missed the last couple of words that you said, but thank you so much. Great video, Andrew. And Dale, thank you. And Sue, thank you so much for having me on today. So my Alexena Consulting is really geared to working with businesses, whether it be small or large corporations, to really create an atmosphere of safety, of openness, of transparency, so that the working environment can be one that is diverse, equitable, and inclusive. But I also, the other piece of that is I work with people who are either underemployed or unemployed, to give them, tool them with skills so that they can become gainfully employed or elevate within their current positions.
Wonderful. And so Sue Slavin is with us. Sue really directs all of our programs. And Sue, you want to say a little bit about your background with the Rothman Institute?
Sorry, Dale, you caught me off guard there. Sure. Yeah, I have the pleasure of actually working with Dale and Maura, our other teammate, on putting together programs for the business community. And as Dale said, to support entrepreneurship. So we are incredibly excited to be partnering with Andrew and Jackie. Though their missions align with ours, they actually bring some really new and exciting things to the Institute. So we're very happy to have you guys.
And I've been at the Institute for 2 years, and what we're trying to do with this video and this session and others is to really meet the needs of local, independent, small business folks, whether they're family business folks or individual. As you know, we've brought a lot of information about taxes and operations and marketing and those types of things. So we're really expanding our team, working with 2 independent consultants to really offer you the services you need. And so one of the things that I'm asking every business is, what do you need? What kind of help do you need to get to the next level? And so we're bringing on people, and again, Jackie and Andrew, to really help you get there. And so I hope that you will find this of value. So Andrew, I'll go back to you. And so what prompted you to start this entrepreneurship training and small business like a pro?
Well, Dale, thanks for having me on. And, just like you, I've been in business for a long time working with small business owners and really worked one-on-one with over 500 business owners, helping them to grow and develop, and taught thousands of people about business. So you start seeing patterns and you start seeing challenges. And one of the biggest challenges is your business can go only as far as you're prepared to take it. So what I see is people get to where they can take it and then they get stuck. And really what I do and what I created, my book, university, and everything is focused on helping people to be able to take the next step with their business by being better business people, being more knowledgeable, and be able to run their business more professionally.
Wonderful. And so Jackie, when you talk about training, you've done a lot of training. You've done diversity training and leadership training and other types of training. Why should, small businesses say, well, I have 10, 12 employees. I don't have extra money for this. Why should I do that? What's the value of doing training?
Well, so Dale, you just nailed it right there. When you're talking to businesses that
Jackie?
have, I'm sorry. We okay?
Oh, she may be frozen. So Andrew, why don't you?
Am I okay?
Did you hear me?
We're hearing Jackie. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Dale, you just nailed it by saying these small businesses have 10, 12, 15 people. One person calls out sick for a day and everybody's in trouble, right? Mm-hmm. So imagine now if that one person called in sick permanently. Mm-hmm. So what happens is in small business and in large businesses as well, it is so costly to replace someone, especially someone who knows the culture of your business, who knows your business, who knows the personalities of their coworkers and your customers. You can't put a dollar figure to that. But all it takes is a little bit of appreciation and you are valued actions towards your employees. And even leadership, it doesn't matter. Who doesn't like to be acknowledged and have a pat on the back and say, great job. Everybody loves it. What happens in training is that what you're saying to your employees is this: you are valued. You are appreciated. I want to give you the tools to improve where you are right now. Because even if you're happy with where you are right now within the organization, maybe you can find ways to do your job differently or better, or even better yet, bring more of yourself to the table. Because what we want to create is an open atmosphere that someone, and this is where all the inclusion comes from, you're diverse, you're equitable, but let's open the door and let our current employees bring in some talents and skills that the rest of the team may never have been aware of, or that they want to nurture and bring to the company, to their table, to say, I think of a better way to do something. What do you think of this idea? And it's a conversation, but it could be a conversation that impacts the bottom line of those businesses. And Dale, you're talking about millions of dollars, looking at the award winners for last year, and I know in years prior, we're not talking about small businesses here. These are major companies that you lose one person, or you don't allow that one person to bring their gifts and their skills to your table, then the company is the one who's losing.
Great point. And especially now in the pandemic, you can't afford to not be as efficient or as effective as possible and to have the best employees available. And so Andrew, you've worked with over 500 businesses. What are some of the problems that you're seeing now? What are some of the common problems and what are some of the quick, I like the way you lay things out very quickly, working in and on your business. Could you say a little bit more about what you're advising some of the clients to do now, some of their small business folks?
Okay, well, right now during the pandemic, there's a lot of different things going on. But, at the end of the day, there's three things you have to do to successfully grow in any environment, but even more so now in the pandemic. And, the one thing is you got to be proactive. As a business owner, you have to run your business. You can't let your business run you. Number two, you have to be creative. As a small business owner, you have to do things differently than a larger business, and the environment's changing. And so learning how to be more creative. And then finally, you have to be flexible, understand how your business can be flexible to meet the needs of your customers and potential customers in a better way. So, really right now, those are the key things, but it all boils down to running your business more professionally, where you go from startup to working in your business to develop it, to working on your business to optimize it, build scale and capacity. And then, you got to work on the future, plan for the future, and then you can scale. So that's really the steps in the process.
So Sue, you interact with all of our family and veteran businesses, and what are you hearing? What kinds of things are you hearing? And you've done a great job of kind of pulling together a lot of our programs, whether it's tax or other things. What are you kind of hearing from some of the businesses?
One of the things we hear about a lot is actually attracting talent and top talent, and a lot, especially in a lot of our manufacturing companies. And I think that what Jackie and Andrew were saying is so important, because if you are providing that training and that ability to grow within a company, that's a really attractive thing to actually attract really good employees, not just to keep them, but to bring them to the companies. So that's one of the things that we hear a lot from our businesses.
Great. And so Jackie, I want to delve a little more deeply into diversity and inclusion consulting. And why is it that a small local business could benefit from that? How could that help their bottom line?
So the diversity, equity, inclusion is something that every single person who is breathing that touches. Those three topics touch them. In a small business, and just as Sue just said, if you feel valued by a company, you are loyal to them, and the chances are pretty good that you are going to stay with a company that you feel you are appreciated in, right? With turnover the way it is right now, and again, you lose one employee, it's a big gaping hole. Well, word of mouth is a great way, as Sue just eloquently said, word of mouth is a great way to get people who might be good matches for those small companies to fill that void, because turnover is inevitable. Retention, though, is what we really want to pursue. And we do that by having a diverse workforce, right? No matter how small you are, being equitable, because not everyone is the same. So you want to give everyone opportunity, but to be inclusive. I think that people don't really understand what it means to allow employees to bring their whole selves to the table. And I think that's important, because there are many gifts and riches to be had with the group that you're working with currently. And I think as small as even a 10-man business or 10-woman business is, each of those 10 people bring a diverse talent pool and skill to the table. And that needs to bubble up so everyone knows what everyone else is bringing and their value.
And that's more important than ever. I mean, I was amazed that you saw the list of some of the articles that I wrote. The one that I was amazed that people, I created this little green picture of a zone. What zone are you in? And asked people, are you in the panic zone because of the pandemic? Are you crazy and worried and negative and all that stuff? Are you in the awareness zone? Are you aware of your emotions? Or are you in the success zone? And so really more important than even before the pandemic, we've got to pay attention to our inner self. And if you are a small business and you have 10 employees, or you have 2 employees, or you have 50 employees, the turnover, the cost of hiring someone new is so expensive Big companies can do it all the time, even though it's a big cost. You can't absorb that if you are an independent business. So this whole idea of the emotional well-being of the people that are in your team and your emotional well-being and the emotional well-being of your family is really, I think, more important than ever. And so you make a great point. And so, Andrew, what does scaling mean? So you say startup to scaling. What does that really mean in the parlance? A lot of people don't know that jargon.
Okay, no, great question. Scaling is really about when you are preparing and to experience and developing and experiencing rapid growth. But to be able to do that, you have to prepare yourself in your business. And, Jackie talked right about training and developing your people, because if you don't have the infrastructure to scale, you're not going to be able to do it effectively, because many businesses go out of business when they try to scale because they're not prepared and they don't have the structure. And one thing that really talks to what Jackie's doing is, as you grow, you promote people and you move them up, but they're not necessarily ready for the job. And they need to understand how to lead and how to manage and how to supervise, and that they need help. They can't figure that out on their own many times. So for the organization, as it changes, having training on inclusion and making sure that everybody's fully part of the team and excited about really achieving the business goals is huge.
Well, we're making an announcement today. So the Rothman Institute of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, we're not only, partnering with Jackie and Andrew, we have our entrepreneurship division, we've created a training division. And so in addition to doing, and Jackie, I'm going to ask you about customer service in a minute, but to doing consulting, providing the asynchronous online entrepreneurship training that Andrew has under our Rothman training. But we also have a Sherm program. And Sue, do you want to talk a little bit about the Sherm program?
Sure. So you might know more about it than I do at this point, but Sherm is your HR.
Right. The Society for Human Resource Management. Human Resource Management. Yep.
And what you need to have are certain certifications, of course, to kind of increase your ability to be hired, promoted within, these organizations, within that HR department. And what we are partnering with a company that is going to prepare the participants to take those Sherm certification testing. So this will help increase people's, hireability, their pay scales, and it's a really great program. And you do have to be certified or approved, an approved trainer. So the university does have that approval. So we are one of the few places, I think, in the area that will be able to provide that training.
Well said. And so we're, in addition to working with entrepreneurs, we're now going to work with big companies and others to provide this certification training. And so, as Sue said, that this is a big leg up if you're in a big HR department. Some independent businesses may have that, but really for the big area. But what we're talking about today, can apply to not only small businesses, but also apply to some customer service training. And so what we're really trying to do is be an executive education arm of Fairleigh Dickinson University, and are really open to looking at other certification programs, because it's more important than ever to really have an expertise and a certification. And because of the pandemic, a lot of people are pivoting in their own career, that they may have lost their job. Millions of people are unemployed and they're looking to do things differently. So certification in an area that you may not have some credentials could be very helpful. So that you'll hear more about that. So Jackie, this customer service program we're doing, hopefully with the state of New Jersey, talk a little bit about that.
So the program is customer service and safety certification. And Sue just brought up a very important point, is the industry valued certifications. So the program that we're going to be doing together includes 3 industry value certifications. It includes the the American Red Cross, adult and pediatric first aid CPR, and AED training. It includes the Manage First customer service certification, and it includes the ServSafe Manager. And that is the big certification, not just food handler. So those three certifications, but the other two key important things that we're going to be bringing to our population is the ability to have a robust resume, get them workforce ready, give them interviewing skills, giving them networking skills, giving them those things. And then the absolute top cherry on the top is that we will bring employers to the table with the full intention of hiring these individuals. That is our job as educators, right? So now I'm an educator because I'm one of your partners, right? But Department of Labor is also expecting that, because if they are going to be helping us to finance the education certifications of these individuals, it is all of our responsibilities, including the participant, to secure gainful employment. So everyone has the opportunity to not only gain skills, but also learn how to use those skills and learn how to articulate those skills. But then it's everyone's job to make sure that individual gets into gainful employment.
Wonderful. And so, I mean, there are a couple of things that are really, really important for even the independent business owners, the family business owners on the call, is really looking at one, hiring the best people. And oftentimes, you know, I talk to a lot of folks leading these independent businesses, and you say, well, you know, toughest thing, I can't find good people. I can't find the people I need to get to where I need to go. I hear a lot from manufacturing firms. And so what we're doing there is really actually developing a lot of folks that could be wonderful for manufacturing firms. There is a severe, people don't realize, first of all, there's manufacturing in New Jersey, but not only their manufacturing. I heard a number, and Andrew, you can correct me, like there are 20,000 open jobs in manufacturing in New Jersey. I heard some incredible number.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. A lot of manufacturing companies I'm working with are constantly looking for more people.
And the trouble is there haven't been great programs that really provide that fit that bill. One of the things we're looking at Fairleigh Dickinson University is a program where you can actually work and go to college, where a lot of folks are coming out of school. They they may not be able to afford college, but they can work and go to college at the same time. And those types of innovative programs are so very important. Andrew, you've done a lot of consulting with the manufacturing, with the program I think John Kennedy leads and others. Talk a little bit about that, your work with manufacturing companies.
Definitely having a chance to work with John Kennedy and NJMEP, or New Jersey Manufacturing Experience Program. It has been great just seeing how many manufacturers, like you said, I didn't realize there was that much manufacturing in New Jersey, and just many of them are small businesses. And one of the things that they do is they help them run their business or be more successful in the business. And fortunately, I've been able to come in on the business side and help the manufacturing companies be able to grow, because that's been a big challenge that they've had. Really getting in there, helping them grow. But if you're going to grow, you need people. And, that's always a challenge. And actually, NJMEP and you probably should collaborate more on figuring out how to get the right employees to the right places.
Right. Exactly. And so when we look at Sue, as you know, we've worked so closely together with a lot of these sessions, and the feedback has been wonderful. And so, from a marketing standpoint, from an operations standpoint, and the other programs, one of the things working in a university that we have is kind of it's nice being at a university because we're kind of independent. So we're an academic institution. We're not trying to make $1 billion. We'd love to make some money, but not $1 billion. And so as we start to look and start to listen to what our family businesses are going through, so we've seen over time that time has gotten shorter for our family businesses, right? I mean, what do you think has been a big difference for us over the time that when I started, a couple of years ago, and this pandemic. What's your sense of what you've heard from some of our family business members?
I'm sorry. I think certainly the biggest difference that's happened since the pandemic is the focus on innovation within entrepreneurship, because I think we all know that if you're not innovative, if you're not ready to move quickly and make quick decisions, especially in a time like this, you can really find yourself in a tough situation. And I think that goes a lot to what Andrew says also about working on your business or versus in your business, is really being prepared for that sort of the unforeseen challenges that life is going to throw at you. And Andrew could probably speak on that, because he sees that also with all the companies that he's working with.
Well said. I understand we have a celebrity with us, our friend Josephine Moran, who was Sue Lerman is named to the 10 best women leaders of 2020. So it's good to see you, and Stephen Bozer, Josephina. So we see some good friends here. But it's tough. Janet Werner is here as well. As we talk about, Janet had introduced me to this dialogue program, this idea where you just kind of sit and talk and really get deep into dialogue as part of business. And so I really think, and Sue hits on it, innovation with people is so important. And so how do you get deeper, and how do you stay committed to employees? One of the things we're starting to look at is some more PPP money coming down, from the administration, that will reach the local businesses, that will allow them to hire people and keep people. So I think some of that money is really important to really use for innovation, for doing things new ways, and for training. And I don't think that folks think of that first off. So Andrew, I'll go to you. What are some of the, because you've worked with so many businesses, what are some of the hurdles that you've seen recently, or mistakes, I should say, that you've seen businesses make recently that they could have avoided?
Okay, well, I mean, I think that, one of the things with the pandemic, a lot of times you're proactive or you're reactive. So right. One of the first things is, you want to start thinking about, how can you adjust your business? And a lot of times people forget about their relationships, which is really the base of their business. So, you got to go back to your relationships, find out how they're being impacted, understand, do they need your products and services more or less? Do they need different products and services that you can provide? What are they expecting? What are they experiencing, so that you can maintain that relationship and, understand how that's going to affect your business as well as theirs, and how you might be able to do different things for them during the pandemic. Because if you're not, somebody else will. And when you come out of the pandemic, they might not be your customer anymore. So, really solidifying those relationships that you have, and then looking at building new relationships. Even though you're not able to do it in the same way, it's very important to continue to build your relationships, your sphere of influence, your network, so that you can grow your business. Because your most important job as a business owner is marketing and sales. So you need to be out there doing that regardless of what's going on.
Well, we're going to talk, and I'm going to, I get a question about some more about the certification training, but I want to stay on the relationships. One of the areas that I've really pushed the businesses, and I've said this a number of times on the show, is they've got to develop relationships. They've got to know their council people, their mayor, their legislators, especially now they have to be close to their banker. I didn't want to say intimate, but they need to be close to their banker, and know them real well, especially when this money comes down, because I know so many businesses had no banking relationship, weren't able to take advantage of the money. And so I'll embarrass Jackie. Jackie is one of the things that impresses me most about Jackie. She's probably one of the best networkers I've ever met. And she is so pleasantly, consistent in reaching out to people, and she knows everybody, and nobody says a bad word about her, and they feel comfortable. So Jackie, I'm a small business owner. I've been used to being in my business. Now these guys are telling me I got to get out and network with people. What do I do? Where do I go? What should I do to connect with people?
Well, the very first thing you do is you start with your inner circle. You start with your own employees, and then you go out to your customers. And here's the question that we ask, and is so critical today. What is keeping you up at night? Tell me what the barriers are today, because they were different than a year ago, might have been different than 6 months ago, right? What is keeping you from being successful today? So you ask that question, but then you got to listen, right? You have to listen to what they're saying. And Dale, I got to tell you what is so exciting about our new partnership together is this word of innovation. Because what we're going to do different together is we're going to go to the businesses and say, you tell me what you need. We're going to create it for you. Because it's not what I have in my pocket to share with you. It is what you're going to need, you, Mr. or Mrs. Business Owner, that needs this. We're going to create it for you. So that this ongoing relationship maintenance and sustainability is critical in today's economy, right? Business owners have to ask their customers that same question. What is different for you today, and how can we, as your provider, as your supplier, as whatever role they play, tell me what it is you need, and we're going to pivot with you. We need to be flexible together, because your success is my success. My success, I will hopefully translate into your success as well. And then to build on that business, word gets around. Wow, look at what this company is doing. They did this in these trying and very special times for their customers. We should go see them. Let's go talk to them, and let's tell them what's keeping us up at night and what we need to be successful. That's all relationships are, is asking the question, listening to the answer, and then acting on those things.
Incredibly valuable information. And I hope people are taking that to heart. You don't have to be an extrovert. You don't have to be, Miss or Mr. Entertainment, but you really have to follow those rules and approach it that way. Before, Andrew, I'm going to ask you for some more detail about the certification program. We have a question, but my friend Herb had asked the question about, will $15 minimum wage hurt small businesses? And so the way I answer that is, for a lot of businesses, a lot of larger businesses, they do not pay what they could pay. So that $15 minimum wage can mean a lot, can make a lot of sense for a lot of businesses that can afford it. The challenge is a lot of small businesses can't afford that. And I go back to my relationships. One of the reasons that government is mandating things is because family business, small business, independent business owners are quiet. They've not stood up and say, well, $15 minimum wage makes sense for businesses of a certain size, but to mandate what people pay or what kind of internship you have really is not necessarily healthy. And sometimes it'll actually, for many businesses, it'll actually have an adverse effect. It may do that. So it's not, and the trouble with, I used to be a state official, the trouble with government is and it's not conservative liberal, is that they try to have one size fits all. And it just doesn't work. It does, in any instance, one size doesn't work. And so, but it's our own fault. I'm a small business owner too. Well, it's our own fault because we have not been loud enough to say we're important. Now, the pandemic, because of the unemployment, has really taught people who weren't believers how important small and independent businesses are to the American economy. And so I think now is a perfect time for us to really say, this is what we need. We need some social investment to help us grow. So that's Herb. That's kind of the answer, and it goes both ways. But there are a lot of businesses that are underpaying, big businesses that are underpaying folks. Jackie.
So as I'm listening to you, Dale, here's my feeling on the $15 minimum wage, whatever it is. It's coming, right? It's coming and small businesses are going to have to deal with it.
Mhm.
But what a great opportunity this is for small businesses to turn to those employees who have been loyal to them and to say to them, listen, this is reality. The minimum wage is going up. I'm a small business right now. I cannot afford that. It is going to hurt me. Let's together brainstorm because you are key to my success. Let us brainstorm together and figure out how we're going to make this work so that I can stay in business. I can keep you on staff. What a great opportunity, I think.
Great. That's a great point. I have to say, I didn't know him, but when I was at Princeton, Jeff Bezos was at Princeton, and many of you heard Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, is retiring, and so they have made record profits during the pandemic. And they said that his profits, I mean, he was the richest man in the world before, that they have 8,000 employees that they could have given every employee, and I'm not suggesting they should, every employee could have gotten a $100,000 bonus, and he still would have been the richest man in the world keeping that. And I'm not suggesting that's the case, and I don't fault people for making money, but by the same token, I'm a big believer in what I call the, democratic capitalism. And democratic capitalism is about small businesses, entrepreneurship, encouraging everything that we're talking about, rather than giving, advantages to other companies. And so it's important to do that. And we have a number of banks on who are very supportive of small businesses. And I love the banks that we work with because they get it. They understand how important these independent businesses are to the economy, to New Jersey. And so I just thank them for their support. Some other big companies really couldn't care much about a lot of small businesses. So, we're trying to be supportive and educate folks. And that's why I'm writing these articles and doing these shows so we can educate folks. So Andrew, why don't you, can you walk us through some more details about each of the 5 steps of the certification for entrepreneurs?
Okay, well, Dale, one of the things that developed working with so many business owners is really there's a path that you must take to achieve scalability and create a sustainable business that can run without you. And it's really a 5-step plan where you start out, you're developing your business. But once you develop it, you really have to get it started and work in your business to really turn it into a viable business. And then once you have a viable business, you have a viable product, you have a viable market, then you need to work on your business so that you can optimize what you're doing. So you can set up processes and procedures and you can make it more profitable and build the capacity to scale. From then, the next step is working on the future of your business where you're putting together your plan to scale and putting everything in place that you need to scale. And then finally scaling it and managing the growth successfully. So, those 5 steps are what it takes. And, with the certification programs, we have 2. One that really takes you on the first half of the journey, where you're really creating a viable product and service that's accepted in the marketplace and you found the right target market and you're able to deliver upon it. So, that's the first part. And many businesses never fully get that right. So, that's the first piece. But then, once you've done that, how do you grow? And how do you build an organization around you to be able to grow? So the first one is the Small Business Pro certification, which is 3 months, and it really takes you through the key things that you need to know as a business owner and you need to work on within your business to make it viable. And then the second one, the Masterpreneur, really takes you from, once you have a viable business to really turning it into an enterprise that can grow successfully over time. So, and that's, a little bit more of a challenge. And, that's why it's a 12-month program. But, it really takes, significant knowledge and experience and planning to really implement that successfully.
So just to follow, so I'm an entrepreneur. I own my business. I want to take the course. Where do I go? How do I get information about the course? And to say a little more about that.
Okay, well, definitely we make the courses, excited about being able to partner with the Rothman Center. And on our website, SB Pro U Certs, CERTS for certifications.com. You can access the certification programs and learn a lot more about them, and decide if that's the right fit for you. So you can go to SB Pro U Certs, or you can go to sbprouU.com and click on the certifications, and it'll take you there as well.
Excellent, excellent. And the modules are short ones. You have a whole bunch of short little modules with video and a mix of things. And so they're like 10 minutes. Is that correct? About,
Right.
10,
So,
15 minutes?
definitely we focused on the learning experience. So we really focused on understanding that business owners are busy and you work at different times and you need something that's stimulating. So we really created, short modules, 5 to 10 minutes each, and so that you can come in for 15 minutes and learn and continue to progress towards the certification. But we do video, audio, quizzes, assignments, just a lot of different formats, because different people learn different ways, and keeps it interesting and exciting. But not only that, the courses, it includes live virtual activities and one-on-one coaching. So it's not just a course or a certification program, it's really a complete support system to really help you take your business from one level to the next.
And one of the things we've done is you could have hated high school, you could have hated college, but you will find this program to be very interesting because you're really working on things you're interested in, your business and growing your business. So it's worth just checking out that site. And what's the site again, Andrew?
It's www.sbproucerts.com or sbprouU.com. And I can put it in the chat as well, so that everybody has access to it.
Perfect. And so Jackie, going to you again. So what I'd like to do is you've had a chance to work with people of all work experience levels, right? People who are, ready for work, anxious for work, people who haven't worked for years. And so two questions. One is, what are some of the unique tricks to help someone who hasn't been working for a while to become a good employee? And two, I'd like you to say a little bit about your diversity consulting, because you're working with big companies through Alexena and so on. So the first one, how do you get an employee that may not be the best worker to become a good worker?
The question for them is, what do you enjoy doing?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you're really good at doing? And is that what you're doing? And if it's not what you're doing, that's what you should try to be doing, right? Because if you have a passion for what you like to do, work is that much less work. It's enjoyable, right? But you talk about people who may have not worked ever in their lives, or they may be stay-at-home parents that are going back into the working world. What have you been doing for the last 10 years? Oh, I've been managing the bills. I've been doing the house maintenance. I've been, all these things. And then you help them translate them into the professional world.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I am good at. So that to me is the starting point, is asking the employee or the potential employee, what do you think you're good at? And then let's place you into those positions. Mm-hmm. Or if you're strong at that, how can you use that strength to better do the job that you're in right now? So it helps when you get someone to be introverted and think about what they are good at and where their head is at. That helps you to get to the place in the professional setting, the roles and responsibilities that they would probably most likely be most successful in.
Good. And so talk a little bit about what is your company doing with diversity consulting? So
the last year has been a little bit crazy. June with the racial unrest that has been going on, the coronavirus, working from home, the diversity and inclusion topics have been critically important. Mm-hmm. So the changes within different departments within companies, the needs are different. So I have been working with all of my clients to say, okay, uniquely, what is going on in your world that is preventing both your division, your department, and your people from being successful? And then we have these very open, honest, uncomfortable conversations together. And together they come up with solutions that will help their colleagues to overcome the challenges that either lack of diversity or lack of feeling included or lack of what they deem is equitable, and bring it out in the open. Because we're not going to get to the next step in any of those three things until people are honest and uncomfortable. That's how we're going to push the needle. Because if you don't know what the problem is, you're not going to be able to address it. So that's what I've been doing, creating highly customized programming for each of my clients.
Wonderful. I see someone had their hand up, but please put your question in the chat. And so I see one of the questions is, how can these courses be beneficial to professional service businesses such as consulting? And I'll start, Andrew, and maybe you can, one, I think as a consultant myself, going through this process will give you additional insight into how you can be a better consultant with the businesses. So to really get a sense of where businesses are. And I find I've been doing consulting for 25 years, it's always good to get a new perspective on things. And I think what this Masterpreneur course and the Small Business Pro course really helps you do is get some additional insights into how to approach clients and approach others. I know I do a lot of work with families and conflict and family businesses. And so I think that helps. So Andrew, I don't know if you saw that question. So how could, if I'm a professional service provider, can I benefit from taking the course?
Definitely. Whether it's both for people that you may work with and better understand where they are or where they are going or should be going, but also for your business, because, it's very important to really have the right plans and have the right strategies. And the second half, we talked about the steps you have to go through, your business has to go through, take. But the other side is you have to evolve as a business owner and an entrepreneur and develop new skills to be able to take your business to the next level. So, each of us needs to understand how that works and what we need to be able to do ourselves, as well as help our clients to be able to do so that they can be more successful.
Excellent. Before we go, Sue, could you say a little bit about the Veterans Launching Ventures program? We haven't really talked that much, and Sue has really worked with the dean of the program to talk about what is that program and what's going on with that.
Sure. Our Veterans Launching Ventures program is it's entrepreneurship training for veterans. And over the last several cohorts, we have really been expanding this program to, and I stole this from Andrew, to meet the entrepreneurs where they are in their journey. I believe that's somewhere in Andrew's his marketing material. But I love that because we've really grown that program now to do the same. We start with they can be anywhere from developing an idea, actually ready to start a business, or have a business that's already functioning and then they are ready to scale. So we really walk them through the process of writing a business plan and really thinking about their business probably in ways that they've never thought about that. It's exciting. It really ties in a lot to what Andrew and Jackie do, but it is a program that is fully funded, and I believe some of our, Provident Bank is on today. They're a big funder of our program, and that it is for veterans and their family members, and it is a grant-driven program. There's no cost to our veterans. So it's something we're really proud of.
And it's really grown over the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. So we have another question. So, networking and trade associations is obviously extraordinary, especially when it's in person. Now that it's not in person, do either of you have any online networking strategies? How do you do it online? Jackie?
Get on as many as you can because it is so powerful what has happened, and with the chambers, Dale, you mentioned gaining or increasing membership with chambers, the networking capabilities that is possible just merely in the chat has been so great for me personally, that I am picking up resources, I am sharing resources, I'm making connections, I'm doing all those things, and it's driving business. Because people come to a networking event so that they can network and drive their businesses. It is the wave of our current, like, immediate future, but I'll tell you what the difference is. People who are waiting to network in person are making a big mistake, because when that day comes, we're probably all going to be masked. We're going to be in a room, maybe 10, 15 people, and separated. There is nothing, like, I'm so enjoying our Zoom right now because I can see your faces. We're having great, robust conversations, but I can read body language still. When you're masked, one, you can't understand what the other person is saying. But two, it's as good as it's going to get for now. So join as many, and there are many free or low cost networking opportunities out there. So look for them, join them, and enjoy them.
That's great. Great advice. Andrew, you're going to say something?
Yeah, I would say, definitely you want to join with organizations, but at the end of the day, networking is one-on-one. So if you're not taking advantage of the power of LinkedIn and connecting with people who would make sense and building communication relationships, talking to them through messages, I've met several people, they just reached out to me and were like, oh, we should talk. And then sometimes we end up doing business, and I do the same. So, organizations are great, but also you can do that independently through your LinkedIn. And, that's where everybody is now. So you want to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I only allow my 8,000 closest friends on LinkedIn. So it's Jackie.
Dale, can I just mention that what is great about online networking now is that there are no barriers. There are no county lines. There are no country lines. I have clients overseas. That was not going to be possible if we were doing only in-person meetings. It has been phenomenal.
And so we Sue and I had with VLV with Germany, Puerto Rico. I mean, it really, one of the things that I have found, and we were among the first, I think, pat ourselves on the back a little bit, to do this regular Zoom, after the pandemic, kind of a regular Zoom. And so Fridays are my days where I have a 1:30, I have a 2:30, I have a 4:30 regular Zoom. And I found you don't need to be as crazy like me and have all these Zoom, but one regular Zoom call where you can invite people in has become a powerful tool where I'm able to get people from around the world to actually come in. They can't, but they know where I am at 1:30 on Friday and can pop in. And so I don't know, I haven't heard many people talk about that, but that's a really, really powerful tool if you're trying to connect the network. So Jackie, you're shaking your head. Any comment about that? Have you done that too?
Oh, well, I don't run my own, so you just gave me a great idea, but I join as many as I can online. And it is worth the investment to pay these entry fees into these networking events sometimes.
Yeah. And frankly, I think that, especially after everyone's vaccinated and hopefully this horrible pandemic is behind us, that the hybrid is going to stay. That you're going to have meetings where, and actually I had an opportunity to teach, I think it was the first at Rutgers. I taught a class on grants management at the law school, but when the law school there, when it was new, but it was for undergraduates. And they had a video, this was 15 years ago. They had a video there and they had students in class. So I had to teach both. This was, a long time ago where I had to do that. And it actually worked out pretty well. It was so kind of the first hybrid class that Rutgers had. And it was actually pretty interesting. But I think that's going to be the wave of the future. And the good news, you can get people who couldn't travel there. The other thing is I'll do work around the country and I'm sitting right here. So I do have a meeting in Denver and then a meeting in California and a meeting in New York and a meeting in New Jersey, back to back to back. And so it can work really, really well. So we're almost at the end. Any final comments, Andrew or Jackie or Sue?
Well, definitely thanks for having me on. I think it's a very important topic because things are changing so fast that you have to continually learn, prepare yourself, to develop yourself, both you and your team. And it's great to be able to partner with you to bring a great opportunity for business owners to be able to do that more effectively.
Well, we're excited. We can reach anybody anywhere now with this asynchronous learning. And Jackie, final comments?
Just a thank you. This has been so much fun. It's all about having fun, but being impactful. So look forward to being innovative and reaching some critical masses with you.
To embarrass Sue and Maura, it's really just three of us doing this, have just done an amazing job and lining up people to speak and so on. And it's been a good year reaching out for us. So any comments, Sue? Any final?
Well, it's easy because I get to do it with all these great people like you see here today. So I'm lucky. I am happy to do it. And next week we have, we're going to kind of piggyback on where we left off today. We're talking about Zoom and networking and talk about marketing and the use of video and how that's just sort of ramped up at a crazy pace. And
well, thank you all for speaking, and thank everybody for listening. It's a great group of people who are attending, and so good luck. We're here to help. If you have some ideas or there's something you want us to talk about, let us know. The Rothman Institute is here to support you. So take care. Have a great weekend, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Have a
Bye-bye.
great weekend. Bye-bye.